Hey everybody, it's Diane Brandon Moody. I'm here again. No time for music or editing or anything special like that. Just gonna come and tell you about this mental download I had, and I thought you might be into this. So, today's title is Feng Shui when you want to use a little woo in your wooing. So I don't know how many people know what Feng Shui is, or even if you're interested or have ever used it before, but this is about the Chinese art of placement and energy. The thinking is that your home has energy and it's swirling around all the time. And where you place things either blocks that energy or it enhances it. Now, I don't know if there's any scientific basis to any of this. Excuse me. Nor do I even really care. It's always done some really weird, really kind of magical things for me over my life. So I don't even care if it's scientific. I use it all the time. In fact, today I spent the day feng shuiing my office because when we moved into this house, I did it, but there were places where it needed some enhancing to the enhancing. So I feel like it's a lot cleaner, a lot less cluttered, and things are really close to being in the right place. So here's the story for you. I had just learned about feng shui when I was, oh gosh, it was in the 90s and probably from an Oprah program, I think. But anyway, I had heard about this and I wanted to go to Paris so bad. So I created a little mind map and put it on my travel area in my bedroom. Now, my bedroom just happened to be in the travel area, and my home office is in my travel area. But I didn't even know that's exactly what I was doing, but I put it in the travel area. And within 2 weeks, uh, the boss, the big boss, I mean, the really big boss who owned all the Hard Rock cafes in our company, wanted all of the PR girls to get on a call and told us he was taking us all to Paris for the opening of the Paris Hard Rock. So 2 weeks later, I had an all paid trip. And I wanted to go mostly so I could see the Impressionist paintings, and I had a chance to do that. I went to the Louvre. I was at a dead run because I ran out of time. And if you've been to the Live, you know you could be at a dead run for weeks in that place and never get through it all. But it turns out the Impressionists are at the Musée d'Orsay anyway, so I had to dash over there just to be able to see them. It was a magical time. I loved it. But to get back to feng shui, now, if you're finding that your love life is really stuck and you're not sure why it's really stuck or what's going on, I'm thinking, what's the harm? It can't hurt anything if you adjust your items in the love area of your house. Here's how you do it. And let me quickly say that I don't think doing feng shui is so magical that it takes the place of coaching because people are so talented in being able to sabotage themselves without realizing it, without knowing it. And so that's really important that you don't hear this as, hey, I can get away without any help if I really need it. But that's not what we're doing. So, um, I put it in the show notes. I have a link for a bagua. What's a bagua, you say? A bagua is a 9 square grid, and this grid kind of looks like a tic-tac-toe board, and it represents various areas of your home. And they're all labeled so that you can quickly see them. And what you can do is kind of mentally lay them over the uh, plan of your home. So these areas, the first one is called Career and Life's Journey. This is in the front middle, and this is always where your door is. It's very important in Feng Shui thinking that your front door is pristine. You want it to be clean. You want it to be inviting. This is the entryway to your home. I have different wreaths that I put out during different seasons, and I put some of that, decorated everything out today, which made me very happy because the season's changing. But do make sure that your front door is clean and inviting. You don't have to go run out and buy a new front door. Just make sure that it's in good shape. If you go to the left of Career and Life's Journey, you'll see Knowledge and Self-Cultivation in the front left area. You go above that, you'll find Foundation plus Family. Above that is your Wealth and Prosperity area. This is always to the rear left when you enter into your home through the front door. It's all the way to the front and left. I'm sorry to say ours is in the garage. And the garage is a mess, but there are ways to get around that. They call them cures in Feng Shui. So I have a little spinner outside the garage, and I'm about to work on getting everything off the ground so at least the energy can swirl around. And also, I'm putting a round crystal ball in the middle of the garage. I don't know why that happened. I've never heard that before, but that's what I've heard, so I'm doing it. If you enter into Career and Life's Journey, all the way to the end is the recognition and reputation. This is what people know you as. And then if you go to the far right, the love and relationship is the bagua that is to your rear right. So you come in your front door, you look all the way to the rear of the house, and then you look over to the right. In our house, it's very convenient that the love and relationship area is in our bedroom. And so let me just tell you some of the things that you can do to help re-energize your love life if it's not going so great. So, first of all, get your bagua. In the show notes, there is a link to one that you can get. So what you want to do in your bedroom is make sure that you have no single items, meaning if you have a sculpture of an elephant, for instance, that you love, don't put it in this room unless you've got two elephants. And the reason I'm using that as an example is because I happen to have two very old wooden carved elephants that I somehow inherited from my mother, I think. May have been my grandmother. So anyway, I would not even put one out. I have two of them out. So this is actually perfect. I also, from the other side of the family, I inherited a wooden carved swan. I had an aunt with the last name Swan who has since passed on. So I thought that was very pretty, didn't know what to do with it. And somehow I inherited another swan from somebody. And so now I have two swans, and I use them for decor in that bedroom as well. Swans mate for life. So that's kind of an auspicious, meaning very lucky symbolism in a bedroom and in the love area. So Don't put a picture of your dog in your love area unless you have pictures of two dogs. Um, One thing that's very handy to have is a sculpture of two lovebirds. Amazon has one that's fairly inexpensive. I'll put that in the show notes as well. Now, one thing that's really good to decorate with are fresh flowers. Make sure that they're alive and make sure that you throw them out the instant that they're dead. Dead flowers hanging around in a love area is not a good thing. Dead anything is not a good thing for your love area. This isn't the place to put pictures of your dearly departed family members. You want to remember them and you want to remember them fondly, but not in this area. This isn't the best place for them. This is about celebrating and enhancing love energy. So make sure that you put those pictures in some other place. You can also put pictures of flowers, paintings of flowers. It doesn't have to be actual flowers to work. That's the cool thing about Feng Shui is a picture in places where you want to have water running, like for instance, in your wealth area where running water is a show of prosperity and wealth. You can have a picture of a river. You don't have to have a real river running through that area. You don't even have to have a real fountain unless you just want to. So decorate with fresh flowers or make paintings with flowers or photos with flowers. Anything like that works well. We have some posters of flowers that I got in Hawaii the first time I went, like 30 years ago. And they're framed and they're up on the wall. And another one that I love that a friend painted for me as a wedding present. So I have that up there as well. You don't want any kind of conflict in this room, so no object or image or artwork that's negative, sad, makes you angry or lonely. If you really like the art, put it someplace else. It definitely doesn't belong in your love area. Some of the best colors, although you're not limited to these, but these are great colors for that area, pink, red, or white. But I would also suggest if this is your bedroom, don't make it too girly if you're single. If you're looking for a relationship with a man, you want the place to be very comfortable for both of you. So, not too flouncy, not too many ruffles, not too much shiny satin. All of that stuff is not good. And that's just my opinion. That's not a feng shui opinion. And that's if your love area is in your bedroom. So if you like sexy art, I've found some really great pieces for a reasonable amount of money on Etsy. There are drawings and paintings of two people. One was a spirit of a tree. Gosh, it's just beautiful. Um, and I framed them myself and I went to some secondhand stores, some thrift stores, and I was able to find so many frames for practically nothing. They go for very, very cheap in places like that. So if you're on a budget, that's a good place for you to get frames. I would say if the love area is in your bedroom area, and even if it isn't, this is a feng shui tip for your bed. Don't have a mirror across from your bed. That means the energy bounces back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You can cover it with a towel or a sheer curtain at night if you want to improve the restfulness. I'm afraid our dresser with the mirror is across from a bed, and there's just no other place to put those other than that. But I do have a curtain I can put over it at night, and that I need to get in the habit of that. I honestly, I kind of forget. If your love area is in a cluttered area like a garage or a stuffed closet, clean it out as soon as possible. You can still use it for storage, but just make it neat and tidy and a place that you like going to. I think I said healthy green plants are helpful in the love area. They are. Anything that can be growing is good. If you want to maximize the effect, put them in a clay pot. So let me know how these tips help or don't at info.dianebrandonmoody.com. These are some of the tips that I use and I practice, and they seem to be super helpful for me and sometimes for other people. There are lots of resources. You can find books for Feng Shui. There are like the zillions of websites, people on Pinterest that sell things related to Feng Shui. You can also hire a Feng Shui expert to come and kind of redo your house. You can do everything at the beginning if you want. I used to do some PR work for a yoga studio, and before they ever opened the doors, the decorator was also a feng shui master, and they did that before they ever opened the doors. So use here what you want to use and leave the rest. And I'd love to hear how it works out for you. So thank you so much for listening. And by the way, please like this podcast or send it to somebody you know or follow me, be a follower. Anything like that is super helpful for me, keeps me going. And let me know how it all works out. Oh, one last thing. This is the problem with going unscripted. One last thing. If you are over 50 and you're dating and you absolutely detest and hate dating apps, I have a great document for you. 50 places to meet people over 50. And next time, I'm going to talk about how to use that document. So if you want to be ready, you better grab it now. Go to dianebrandonmoody.com. It's right there on the home page. You can grab it very easily, and I look forward to discussing it next time. Thank you. Y'all have a great week, great time, great love.